Stop scrolling for a second. What if I told you the most dangerous fat in your body isn't the fat you can grab with your fingers? Believe it or not, the real threat is a hidden yellowish fat deep inside your stomach that wraps around your organs like a toxic blanket. And here's the crazy part. This fat doesn't just sit there. It actively sabotages your metabolism, messes with your hormones, and makes that stubborn belly refuse to disappear, no matter how many diets you try. But today, you're about to learn the science-backed shortcuts to destroy it. Let me tell you something. Most people think belly fat is just a cosmetic problem. You know, the stuff that makes your jeans feel tighter. But the truth. There are two completely different types of belly fat. The soft fat you can pinch on your stomach? That's called subcutaneous fat. Annoying? Sure. Dangerous? Not really. But hiding underneath it is something far worse. Visceral fat. And that's where things get interesting. Visceral fat acts almost like a rogue organ inside your body. It wraps around your liver, intestines, and even your heart. And instead of quietly storing energy, it's constantly pumping out inflammatory chemicals that disrupt your entire system. That's why people with a normal body weight can still have serious metabolic problems. But wait. Here's the good news. Because visceral fat is so metabolically active, it's actually the first fat your body burns when you trigger the right signals. And the strategies that unlock that process might surprise you. Think about the last time you tried to fix a bad eating weekend. Maybe you skipped meals. Maybe you survived on tiny salads. Maybe you slashed your calories down to almost nothing. Sound familiar? But here's the crazy part. Extreme dieting can actually backfire. When you suddenly starve your body, it goes into defense mode. Your metabolism slows down. Your hormones panic. And your body starts holding onto fat like it's preparing for a famine. It's basically saying, whoa, food is disappearing. Better store everything. So while the scale might drop a little, that deep visceral fat often sticks around longer than you'd expect. And that's exactly why researchers started asking a bigger question. What actually targets visceral fat the fastest? Imagine your body fat like a dirty driveway that hasn't been cleaned in years. Dieting alone? That's like sweeping it with a kitchen broom. Sure, you remove some surface dust. But the deep grime stays stuck. Now picture using a high-powered pressure washer. That's what the right kind of exercise does to visceral fat. In one major clinical study, researchers tracked adults for 8 months. Instead of forcing them onto miserable crash diets, they focused mainly on aerobic exercise. And the results were wild. People who exercised regularly saw huge reductions in visceral fat. Meanwhile, the inactive group? Their visceral fat increased by over 8% during the same time period. But here's what shocked everyone. Many participants didn't lose much total weight. The scale barely moved. Yet inside their bodies, something amazing happened. They lost toxic visceral fat and gained metabolically active muscle. So if you've ever felt discouraged because the scale isn't changing fast enough, believe it or not, your body might still be transforming in powerful ways. Now you might be thinking, okay, so I just need to exercise harder. Not exactly. But wait. There is a sweet spot. When your heart rate climbs into the vigorous zone, your body releases powerful stress hormones like adrenaline. And visceral fat cells are extremely sensitive to adrenaline. When that hormone spikes, it's like flipping a switch. Those deep fat cells suddenly dump their stored energy into your bloodstream, where it gets burned as fuel. Here's a simple way to know if you're in the right zone. If you're exercising and can easily chat about your weekend plans, you're probably not pushing hard enough. But if you're breathing heavily and can only say a few words at a time, boom, you've hit the fat-burning sweet spot. And the best part? You don't need insane workouts. Brisk cycling, jogging, fast walking uphill, rowing. Just 30 to 45 minutes of moderate to vigorous cardio can trigger this effect. Now fitness people love to argue about this. Some swear by HIIT workouts. Others prefer long steady cardio. So which one melts belly fat faster? Let's break it down. Think of it like dynamite blasting through a mountain. It's explosive, fast, intense. Steady cardio, on the other hand, is like a massive tunnel-boring machine. Slower, but relentlessly powerful. And here's the surprising truth. Scientific studies show both methods reduce visceral fat almost equally. The real deciding factor isn't the workout style. It's consistency. Because the perfect workout that you hate, and only do once every 3 weeks, will always lose to the workout you enjoy and do 3 times a week. Consistency beats perfection every time. But exercise is only half the equation. Because if your body is constantly inflamed, it will keep trying to store more fat. And that's where diet actually becomes powerful. But not in the way most people think. The secret isn't just calories. It's color. Bright red tomatoes. Deep orange carrots. Dark leafy greens. These foods are loaded with compounds called carotenoids. And carotenoids act like cellular rust protectors inside your body. When you carry excess visceral fat, your cells produce unstable molecules called free radicals. These molecules damage tissue and trigger more fat storage. Carotenoids neutralize those molecules before they cause harm. In fact, large population studies found something fascinating. People with higher levels of carotenoids in their blood consistently had lower visceral fat levels. So a simple rule can help here. When you look at your dinner plate, ask yourself, where are the colors? The brighter the vegetables, the stronger the metabolic protection. Now here's the part most people get wrong. Green tea. Yeah, you've probably heard about it 1,000 times. But wait. The way most people drink it completely destroys its benefits. High-quality green tea contains powerful compounds called catechins. These compounds help block some dietary fat absorption and increase fat oxidation. But the real magic happens before exercise. Studies show drinking green tea before a workout can boost fat burning by up to 17%. That means your body becomes more likely to burn stored belly fat instead of just carbohydrates. But here's the key rule. Never use boiling water. Extreme heat damages those delicate compounds. Instead, brew green tea at around 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. And avoid bottled sweet teas completely. They're basically sugar bombs. So imagine combining all 3 strategies into one daily routine. Morning. You start your day with a warm cup of properly brewed green tea. Afternoon. You crush a 40-minute workout that pushes your heart rate into that breathless zone. Evening. Your dinner plate explodes with color, spinach, peppers, sweet potatoes. What happens next is incredible. Your body stops receiving the signal to store fat, and finally gets permission to burn it. That stubborn visceral fat that's been clinging to your organs, it slowly starts disappearing. Let's recap the blueprint. If you want to destroy dangerous belly fat, focus on 3 things. Vigorous cardio that raises your heart rate. Colorful vegetables rich in carotenoids. Green tea before workouts to boost fat burning. Do this consistently, and your metabolism begins working with you instead of against you. If this video helped you understand visceral fat in a whole new way, hit the like button so more people can see it. And let me know in the comments. Which step are you trying first? The workout, the colorful diet, or the green tea trick? And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because the next video might completely change how you think about health. And trust me, you won't want to miss it.